Pathways to Peace inaugurated the first local global Peace Day celebration following the establishment of the International Day of Peace by the United Nations in 1981. In 1982, we inaugurated the Minute of Silence moment of peace in all time zones. The following 1984 Peace Day celebration in San Francisco was coordinated with Assisi, Italy, and 70 countries around the world who celebrated with their own observations. This included the first ever broadcast of the Minute of Silence over a national network television station. As a result of its role in developing the International Day of Peace in civil society, Pathways to Peace was honored by the United Nations and granted Peace Messenger status in 1987.
The International Day of Peace was proclaimed 3 years ago by a unanimous vote of the United Nations General Assembly. The Minute of Silence that we're observing today coincides with the moment of silence traditionally observed by all member nations of the United Nations as they convene to begin their year's work. We are linking minds and consciousness with our brothers and sisters around the globe, and we will contemplate the word peace.
Experience what's happening inside of you and begin to ask yourself inside if in fact you are willing to really commit yourself to creating peace.
That's all I'm asking from you.
He was the Pope in Foul Play with Chevy Chase. He has performed with Beach Blanket Babylon. Not only that, he's been San Francisco's chief of protocol for more than 20 years now. He's Mr. San Francisco himself, Cyril Magnin, and he even brought his dog Tippy with him today. A hand for Cyril Magnin.
Minute of Silence, moment of sound, I think is a very important thing. I think it makes an important statement. I think the United Nations is one of the hopes that we have on this planet for a continuation of the world or civilization as we know it.
But my message to you today is that you, yes you, and myself, each and every one of us, does possess that power to bring about, through, as Gandhi said, non-violent methods, a lasting peace among all men and women of peace and goodwill toward one another.
What I like to do in the next minute or two, and that's all I have to say, being a fireman, I'm pretty direct. Big fire, big water, a little fire, little water. You know, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. What I have to share with you this afternoon is basically something you already know. You and I know, we already know. But it's good to serve as reminders for each other. You do that for me, and hopefully I do that for you. What that is, in silence, one can experience what one needs to know. In silence, one can experience what one needs to do. Masters throughout the ages, then and now, have realized through silence that we are not really safe and we will not be at peace until everybody is cared about and, if required, cared for.
I think it's essential that all of the sectors of our society be involved in a public commitment of this nature to the pursuit of peace.
This is the largest team meeting that I've ever attended. And I call this a team meeting because if you do choose to join, you are joining a team. And I'm not talking about a regional team or a national team. I'm talking about an international team. The International Team for Peace. All of the team members, as team members should, have a common goal. And as team members, we face the greatest challenge that any team has ever faced.
A symbol of international hope for peace marks its 39th birthday today. The United Nations. I took part in one of the hundreds of celebrations of this day, the Celebration of Peace. San Francisco's celebration featured a parade of flags, speakers, singers, and a minute of silence. The silence was ushered in by an air raid siren and concluded with the sound of children singing. The International Day of Peace has been celebrated on the third Tuesday of September since 1981. And at Grace Cathedral today, it was anything but quiet for most of a 12-hour United Nations Peace Vigil. Bands and dancers loudly heralded the anniversary before a steady stream of onlookers, but there, too, a minute of silence was the rule when the hour of the anniversary arrived today.
I would assume that this was celebrated in many other cities?
All around the world, from Italy to 5 different Soviet republics, people all getting together to just think about peace and perhaps put that consciousness forward so that we don't destroy ourselves.
Give it a chance.
Hey.
Yeah.